Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
My name is Will.
And today we have I think, a packed episode. I think we have a nice little episode planned out for you all. We will be talking about.
We always have a great episode. We're so sorry that we haven't been back fully, but we're working on it. We're working on it.
Like, listen, like, we're trying, okay? And I think that the people, we're trying. We really are. We are really trying to give y'all.
Yeah, but we do appreciate the support and the check-ins. Like, it's so nice to know that you guys look forward to us every single week, and it's incredible.
No, seriously, like, no, for real, we really do appreciate it. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, life been lifing over here, so life has been lifing. So like, listen, like, we are trying, but just know that we are here, and we will try to give y'all more shows more efficiently.
Yes,
we will try.
We are working.
Can't make promises, but we will try.
Yes, exactly. We were honestly, like, if only you know what goes on behind, like, the scene between all of our lives and between us trying to get together. It's incredible that we even make it out here.
Yes. So, listen, we have a nice little show planned out for you all. We are going to be talking about the Hasbro earnings call. That just recently happened.
Okay.
Yes. We will also be talking about some interesting Cosmic Fury news that has been popping up. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Some interesting Cosmic Fury news that has been popping up on the interwebs. And also we'll be talking about Dino Fury. I know y'all are probably like, wait a minute, hold up. Did y'all finish? We did not.
No, we did not. But you know what, though? Some of you already know that. Some of you already know that we did not finish. So
we did not finish.
We did not finish. So we will try to finish it soon, before Cosmic Fury officially launch.
We will try to finish it. I promise we will try to finish it.
Don't worry, we will also get back to John Brothers. I know we've been getting messages about John Brothers too, and I'm like, girl, we promise you, we are working on it. We're getting ourselves together. We're getting there. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
But you know what, though? Sooner or later, you will hear what we have to say, and that's what counts, right?
Right. Now, also, too, I know the people are probably like, wait a minute, because the new show is also coming.
Yes.
King Oger.
I need you to tell me more.
Listen. Now, King Oger, just real quick. So, for the people in the back that don't know about King Oger is the newest Sentai that will be premiering in March, I want to say. So next month, literally.
That's soon.
Yeah, Don Brothers is almost over. So, yeah, Don Brothers is almost over. So, King Oger is starting next month, and basically King Oger is about 4 knights and a possible wannabe who basically there was a prophecy that predicted the Earth's end. So basically this evil kingdom is now has been resurrected due to this prophecy, and basically the King Ogers, they're all kings of like different types of villages, basically. And basically they're like the protectors of the earth. Apparently there is the red one actually already has a king, but apparently whoever this young guy is, I don't think he's the actual king of that village. But apparently somehow he takes the mantle of the Kuwaga Ranger or the Kuwaga Oger. So it's going to be interesting on how it comes out that he's not an actual king, but he plans on. But his slogan is something to the effect of like, "I plan on ruling the world" or something like that. So he almost kind of sounds like a villain. So I'm like, this should
That's
be interesting.
literally every classic like saying for every villain. I want to rule the world. I will make the world better
Right.
for me. Like, you know what? Y'all need to come up with a better like. I need. I would like a villain that is a villain just for being the heck of a villain. I'm
Pretty much. Like, I just woke up today and decided that I just want to be bad. Like, I just want to
right.
kill people.
I just want
What's
to
wrong with
choose
that?
violence. Like that's what I would love. I would actually love that because I think that will be so much more fun than actually having like the same purpose as Pinky in the Brain. Like honestly, like taking over the world. It's
So
all I'm
what
trying
is
to say is no one has ever successfully succeeded except for Lord Dragon, but then he ended up destroying it. So did he really take over the world?
what's the
Mm.
turnover rate between the Sentai seasons? Because Don Brothers isn't over yet, and then the new one starts next month.
Yeah, so literally, Darn Brothers will have their finale on one weekend, and the following weekend, a new one starts.
Is this canon?
Yeah, yeah. It's that happens every year. Like literally, when they stop, like when one season stopped, literally a couple weeks later, or like not a couple, literally the following weekend is the brand new one. Now, the only time that hasn't happened, to my recollection, has been Re Soldier, which was Dino Fury for us. That was the only time that I can remember that didn't happen because they had a special, literally like right after the previous Sentai ended, which was kind of like, I think it was called the Super Sentai Taisan. I want to say, I could be wrong. Don't quote me. For you Super Sentai heads out here, don't come for me. Um, but I do believe that was what that special was called, and basically, I think it was like uh either a 2 week show, 2 or 3 week special, something like that, where it was like a little mini episodic special where it was pretty much like all the Sentais were battling each other in kind of like a battle royale type of situation. And the Ryu soldiers, green and black, they had a special appearance in it, almost to kind of like promote Ryu Soldier the following season.
So were
But yeah,
they
normally it normally always ends the following, like literally in one week, and then the following week is the brand new season.
are they in production at the same time?
Yes. So literally they'll be, how they do it is almost kind of like, so when the show, while the show is airing, they're still filming. So literally, like, they'll be filming like the whole entire show, and then you'll see pictures of them holding their flowers, like, "Yay, congratulations, I'm done." But they literally just finished filming, and that we normally start getting pictures like that around like episode 40, episode 42, episode 41, 42, because they just literally just finished filming. So literally, while the fourth quarter of the season is airing, they're already filming or starting pre-production for the following season. Yeah, so it's one big wheel that just keeps on turning every single year. So yeah, like they don't get any downtime, like at all. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I'm like, I am so glad that Power Rangers does not do that. Because I don't know if I could keep up or deal with Power Rangers like having that happen like over and over like that. Like I don't know if I could do it. Like, could you imagine Power Rangers ending on like a Saturday and then the following Saturday the brand new season starts? Like, could you imagine that? I couldn't.
I
Like,
I don't would you prefer that? I feel like in a way I would like that.
really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think like I guess in a way it's like kind of cool to look forward to something like immediately versus having a break. That's just me.
I mean, I can see that. I can see it. I can see that.
I think I
I
would need
don't
to
know.
process what I just watched before I get into something else. I mean, but
Same. That's me.
yeah, but like where we're at now, we're binging stuff all the time. So like we'll get to like between two seasons or something within within a week or a few days, which I've done that before, and because of that, like it while it's enjoyable, it makes it like hard to distinguish like when things happened. But
Mm-hmm.
I have issues like with thinking back to Insecure or Arrow. I watched some of that stuff literally like multiple seasons within like a couple of weeks, and I can't like differentiate with like what happened in what season sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Like things get muddied. Like things will get muddled together, and then you're sitting there like, because like me personally, like granted, I am a huge Sentai follower. Like I will sit there and I'll watch any season that comes out like back to back, back to back. But it can also kind of become a little taxing sometimes to a point where it's like, I need a break. Like, like, and that's why sometimes like I'll hate when the Sentai is good
Mm,
because I'm like, I can't stop watching it because this is actually a good show. But dang, I'm getting fatigued. Like I'm getting tired.
mm,
So like it's odd. So like I'm actually kind of glad sometimes when Sentai isn't good because then I can take a break and then like watch something else. Because I'm just like, because there was a period of time where Sentai had me in a chokehold for years, like almost back to back. They were coming out with bangers. And I'm like, yo, like, I need a break. Like, I can't do this anymore. So yeah, like, but yeah, that's what Sentai does. Like, they literally will one weekend they end, the following weekend, we're back to it. So um, but also too, on the flip side, you could be dealing with what we're dealing with, where you literally get nothing for a very long period of time.
Right, and
And
that's
it's like, oh my gosh, what's
right.
happening?
Right, you're like, what's happening? What's going on? Like, and I think that's kind of why I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the great thing about being able to watch stuff at your own pace. But I feel like it'd be cool to have it available back to back
Mm-hmm.
because like nowadays we get to choose what we want to do, right? But I
Right.
do have a question because we're talking
Yes.
about binging and stuff like that. What are y'all thoughts on the whole Netflix not sharing password situation?
Foolishness. Foolishness and fuckery is what it is to me. Like, first of all, Netflix, me and Netflix, I like we have a love-hate relationship, but mainly a hate relationship. But sometimes I love her though. Sometimes I do. But sometimes I'm like, but for the most part, I'm like, girl, fuck you. Uh because Netflix be sitting here playing. Like she be playing games. And it's like, my thing is, don't get me wrong, girl, if your coochie was that good, then you could probably get away with the whole password sharing thing. But first of all, your shows aren't that great for the most part. Like the movies you have, like girl, they're tired. You know what I'm saying? So like the only reason why I would even have Netflix is for Power Rangers. Like literally. It's literally just for Power Rangers. Um Other than that, like I don't check for her. I don't check for Netflix. So like what is the purpose of paying what is it like almost $16? Like it's
Oh,
some kind of crazy amount a
oh,
month.
okay.
Girl, no.
So let me explain the new plans to you. I was actually very surprised. Um, they have. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the same for the US, but I'm assuming so, just because I feel like Netflix is usually pretty like like universally wise or whatever that proper term is. Um, so they did change it now, and they are
Okay.
offering a basic plan at $5.99 for Canadian. So I'm quoting in Canadian pricing because I don't know what it is will be in US, obviously. But so the basic plan with ads, I think certain things are going to be restricted due to licensing for $5.99, which I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, so we're bringing back the cheaper end, which is great. I am in a way sort of liking that. However, for $4 more, you can get a better quality video at 720, I guess, whatever, um pixel per photo or whatever it is called, and no ads. And so that's $9.99, and that's the second plan. And then I think obviously if you want like a little bit better, it's like 16 something or whatever, 1649 or 1699, and it's even better quality. I think you get it from 1080, and you get all the things. And then for the final, I think packaging is about $20. And that one you can share your password still if you want to, and do all the things. However, I do like the fact that Netflix is low key giving you an excuse not to share your password with certain people. Because let me tell you, when people come out of the woodworks
Mm.
being like, "Yo, can I have your password?" I know, Brandon, you're really like you have no shade in telling people no, but
Mm.
but sometimes it'd be hard telling people no. Like it'd just be hard. And I know my friend doesn't listen to my show, so I'm just gonna say it. I have this one friend. For some
Period.
reason, she does not get her own shit. She was taking her ex-girlfriend's password for the longest time, and then
Uh-uh.
had the audacity to be shocked when she finally kicked her off her account
Oh,
after they broke up. Like they broke up for a while, and she was still sharing password with her, and had the audacity to be like, "Yo, she just kicked me off her account. Like, what the heck? Can I?"
oh, girl.
Right? And then she's like, "Can I have your password?" And obviously, like, she's a childhood friend. Um, I didn't know how to say no.
Girl,
So, but yeah, so in a
no.
way, the not sharing one kind of gives you, a good, like, you know what? No, I
A
did
good
have a friend.
excuse.
Exactly. I did have another friend, real quick, and I'm off of it. I asked her the same thing, and she was like, somehow I end up sharing my password with a whole entire freaking family that she's not even close with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. She was like, tell me how this woman had the audacity, because she just changed her password recently. And Netflix has been asking us actually, because I think the 21st is when they officially changed everything over. And Netflix actually asked her set location, because they did the same thing to me, asked me to set my location, asked me if I want to screen share with transfer profile with anybody, all the things. And so my friend did that. This girl had the audacity to call her up and was like, "Oh, you changed the password?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, because they
It's
now
mine.
is mine, and also because Netflix is changing it now." She's like, "Yeah, but for $7.99 more, you can do share password again."
Oh,
Yeah,
not you
yeah,
trying to
Get
tell me how
some
to
money
spend
for
my
that? What
money?
the hell?
yeah.
Okay.
And she wasn't gonna send her that money. She was telling her that she needs to spend that money.
Girl, if you don't sit the
Mhm.
audacity, honey.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, like, I'm 50-50 with it in that sense where yes, I do enjoy sharing because I do enjoy sharing in a sense that like with me and my other friend, we actually do like sharing because like he got Disney and I got Netflix, right? So that way we each paying for a subscription that we can still share with each other and still have it all without having to pay for like 10 bajillion subscription, right? Which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm okay with that. However, comma, if you have nothing to offer in return and you have the audacity to say I'm just saying. So if
Child, the only thing that she have to offer is audacity.
if
Girl, no.
yeah. So that's what
I
happened.
like I don't like this at all because it's just it's not convenient. I don't want to have to pay for a bunch of subscriptions. I had a couple of friends that were letting me use their different streaming platforms, and I've done that in the past with them as well. So like I don't know, it's just inconvenient for us. Over here, I just did the basic with ads here in the States is $6.99 a month. And I just did that because I have not finished Dino Fury and I want to
Wait, they're
finish
charging
that
you guys
finally.
$6.99? And mine is only five.
Mm-hmm.
Usually Canadian dollars are way more. I'm surprised that yours is not cheaper.
Yeah, it's $6.99 with basic
That
with
is
ads.
disgusting.
Yeah, basic one. I guess that one doesn't. I don't know if that includes ads or not. But basic is nine
I'm
ninety
annoyed.
nine. The standard is 15.49, and the premium is 19.99. First of all, like if it's the same thing with how it is for Canada, where it's like for the premium, like you are able to like share your password and all that stuff. Like something about that to me feels very classist.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I don't like it don't sit well with my spirit because it's like, okay, so you're gonna make people pay basically $20 to have the ability to be like, hey, I'm gonna share my password with you now. And you know that there people have many subscriptions to many different things. So obviously, like, nobody wants to have ads. Like, I mean, that's just it is what it is. Nobody wants ads or whatever. But of course, obviously, you want to be able to like have the ability to use it the way you want, whether that be have it on multiple devices or share with multiple people, X, Y, and Z. So you're meaning to tell me that for the experience that I want to have, then I have to pay all this money for it, especially when the product that you're making me pay all this money for is not that great. Like something about that to me just feels very classist, and I don't like it because basically what you're saying is you have to have a certain amount of money to basically enjoy the service. That's what that gives me. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it because first of all, Disney Plus's coochie is way better, and she charges less. Let's not do this. I'm not here for it, Netflix. I'm not here for her.
And
Not here for her.
and you know what though, Brennan? Like when you're speaking of Disney, I have this feeling that now everyone's gonna wait to see what happens with Netflix before they decide to do the same thing. I feel like they're gonna do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like
Yeah.
so not here for it because like exactly like what Will said, it is very inconvenient in the sense that like when our the friend group or the family group all split the bill and try to get a bunch of subscription, which makes sense because like why is everything a subscription these days? Like even Apple Music, I can't just buy a single song that I really enjoy like I used to. I have to pay for a monthly subscription just to listen to one song that I really enjoy. And I'm like, but why would I
Yes.
pay the $1.29 or whatever it is these days for that one single song like I used to. Like,
Right.
why not? But no, I have to pay for a whole monthly subscription just to listen to Apple Music these days. And I'm like, well, girl, I'm not here for that. And then, Spotify, if you don't want it with ads, and you want to be able to skip freely, you got to pay for that. And I'm like, well, girl, you know what? It's fine. I will take the ads and listen till I can skip again. Whatever, like everything is a subscription these days. And I thought the whole idea of these streaming platform is that supposed to be better for us, supposed to save us money, but in the end, it's not saving us money. It's costing us more money.
Yeah.
That was the whole idea why cable TV was no longer a thing. Because cable TV is so expensive. But nowadays, I feel like some of these streaming sites are way more expensive than cable TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when you think about it, after you spend all this money for all of these streaming services, you're basically spending more money in these things than you actually are paying for cable TV. Like you really are.
100%. And it dawned on me when I first moved out 5 years ago, because I had a bunch of subscription because, girl, when you be living at home, you're not paying the whole rent. And, I was paying rent, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't paying the real rent nowadays, right? That cost to live. And so, of course, I had a bunch of subscription. But then the moment I moved out, I had a wake-up call. I was like, okay, girl, I can't be subscribing to Crave. Well, we have Crave in Canada. I can't be subscribing to this and this and this and this. So I actually had to narrow down a lot of my subscription. I had Disney at one point. I couldn't keep it anymore because I was like, okay, what do I really watch? And at the time, it was Netflix. There was a lot of Netflix because Netflix had a lot of great shows. Like, things were coming out, things were pumping out, and I enjoyed it a lot more overall, right? So then, because Disney was still new, nothing was really on there. Crave barely had anything. It was a bunch of Canadian stuff, which I get because it's a Canadian streaming site. But I'm like, but girl, sometimes those Canadian shows don't hit the same. They just don't. They just really don't. And then you have Amazon Prime, which actually, you know what? Amazon Prime, if you really think about it, is actually one of the best streaming sites because for $7.99, you also get free delivery. And,
girl, listen.
And Amazon, what's it called? Amazon with Prime? No. Sorry, what is it called when you get delivery the next day? Yeah, Amazon Prime. Okay, yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, within a couple hours. I'm like, so really when you think about it, Amazon is actually one of the best streaming site ever.
Let me tell you something. Amazon Prime has been out here slaying. And then what makes it so crazy is the shows on Prime are actually really good too.
Oh my God,
I mean, yes. Prime is over here being like, step your pussy up, honey. I mean, Prime is really showing out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Prime is showing out, and it's like you girls can't take. Come on now. And Netflix got the audacity to be like, "Oh yeah, for a premium, you can spend
That's what I'm trying to say.
Girl.
I'm just like, you want free delivery? I got you. You want 2 hours delivery? I know in the States, you guys, depending on what area y'all live in, you can get stuff delivered within a couple hours even. But even the next day delivery, that's still pretty freaking awesome for me, right? And I'm just like, girl, you're offering so. The only thing I don't appreciate is when they charge you for certain movies because it's not.
Yeah.
Why? But I'm like, you know what though? You know what? I'm not even gonna be mad about it because you've been giving me free delivery, so I'm not gonna be mad about it. Okay, for $7.99, you're giving me more than what streaming sites are giving me. So
period.
So you know what? If I really want to watch this movie, I will pay for it. If I really want,
I'll pay for it. Period.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm here for it, but like I said, when it comes back to Miss Netflix, girl, miss me. You can miss me, girl. So I'm probably going to end up getting Netflix just in time enough for once and always. Take her off, not pay her, and then pay her again when it comes for Cosmic Fury. And then I'm going again. Girl, no. You got me fucked up. Girl, bye.
I honestly, I don't blame you. I really don't. I really don't. It's
girl, no. But speaking of girl, no. So Power Rangers got the girls in a tiffy, child. So this past week, Power Rangers, Hasbro had their earnings call, right? And of course, every year, well, not every year, there's 4 times a year that we have earnings call. So basically, we have Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. And basically, in every meeting, we talk about where we are and, oh my gosh, how are we doing? And right? Well, um, this time we had one of our earnings calls, and basically Hasbro pretty much said profits are down, but you know, like we made money. However, they saw mainly most of their losses from project cancellations consisting of inventory and asset write-offs. Um, basically saying that, in other words, um, well, in other words, basically Power Rangers is they're not they lost money because of projects that they've created but haven't released, basically. Um so what that means is yes, like they still gain money from toys and things like that. They still made money, but they're still an emerging brand, and that they did lose a lot of revenue from creating projects that haven't been released as of yet. So of course, when people hear that, they automatically go immediately to, oh my God, the brand is failing. Um, which that is not what they said at all. The brand is not falling apart. The brand is not failing. It is literally that's what it is. Like they put a lot of money into creating these brand new projects. They haven't seen the light of day yet. That's it. Like, that's literally it. So thoughts. How do you all feel about this news? Oh, and by the way, there's a part two to the news. Also, um, meanwhile, the Int Whistle and the Jenny lady, I forget her last name. Um, their their series is still in development, which that series is also aimed at more young adults. So it's not really so much of like the kids show, but it's mainly more of like a young adult type show. And also the movie, I believe, is a part of that is still in development. So there you go. What do you guys think about that?
People are way too quick to jump. I don't understand. Oh, I just don't understand. And then I think my other thing is too is like, what does their earnings really have to do with us being that concerned anyways?
I think it's a mix of the fact that they're not announcing anything new, and then the fact that they mentioned that there were losses because things haven't come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that I think that's why people are freaking out. They didn't straight up say that, we're done, with this. Like that there still are things in development. Um
Right.
I I don't know if anything, Power Rangers is a resilient brand. How many times has this thing been canceled, but still found a way to make it back on TV for another company being at the helm or sent to a different channel. So I just have some damn faith.
That's
This
and it,
damn cockroach.
it's funny you say have faith because that is pretty much what I have been preaching the entire time. Like people I've noticed kept saying we're still an emerging brand after all this time, and Hasbro said that they were going to do this and they're not fulfilling their promises. Whoa, 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 pause, 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 pause. First of all, let's be very clear. This brand has been out for 30 years and Hasbro only had it for what, like 6? Like, first of all, let's pump the brakes. Let's chill out for like 2.5 seconds because y'all wilding right now. Like, Hasbro didn't have this brand for this long. Like, y'all act as if Hasbro had it for like 15 years. They ain't had it for that long. And secondly, Saban had it the longest. It never moved. Like, it never went anywhere. The most success this brand has ever had was Mighty Morphin. And the success pretty much trailed off in the early 90s, mainly around about 95, 96. That's when it started to trail off. So let's be very clear. Like, this brand has not seen that level of success in years. Hasbro is, at least I will say, Hasbro is trying to do things to try to get the brand up to a certain level where it can be a top tier brand. But that kind of stuff takes time. It takes time. Like, first of all, we are not that kind of brand. And I want to make this very clear for the people in the back who really, really, really think that this brand is on a Marvel or a DC. Babies, I know y'all have that kind of faith, but no, we are not that. We are an extremely niche brand. Like, extremely niche. Nobody, like, Power Rangers is not that girl. I know y'all want her to be, but she's not. She's not that girl. And it's going to take a lot of work for her to become that girl. She ain't going to become that girl overnight. There's going to be some times where she's going to fall. There's going to be some times where she's going to grow exponentially. There's going to be some times where she stays pretty much on the straight path with no growth or no decline. That's just what it is. But she's not the girl you think she is. Let's be very clear. And I think that a lot of the people that are saying, a lot of the naysayers who are constantly always talking about, oh, Power Rangers is failing, Power Rangers is going to die, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Honestly, like, you are the people who, honestly, unfortunately, I really don't want to say it like this, but I want y'all to go sit down somewhere. Like, go sit down somewhere. Like, y'all love Sentai so much, go enjoy Sentai. Like, whatever it is, because, like, I don't know, like, y'all, it's almost kind of like y'all are looking for negativity. Like, y'all are like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't
I've
ever
noticed.
say anything when the show when it's doing well. You know,
Yeah,
when the numbers are well, when everything is great, you never hear these people talk. But the moment that all of a sudden things are failing, things are dropping, now all of a sudden you start hearing all these negative voices. Like, I'm sick of it. Like, just be
yeah,
quiet.
it's really I don't understand. Like, do you guys hate Power Rangers secretly? Like, do you want it to
Right.
fail? Like, why are you always talking about, oh, this is the end. Power Rangers probably going to be canceled. Uh, like, like, why are you putting this much negativity out in the ether? Like, why? Like, this is
Why?
a constant.
Like, for people who claim to say that they know so much about how the business works and how the business model works, a lot of y'all are what you say?
I doubt that.
I mean, yes. Like, it's so odd.
Sorry.
No, for real. Like, he has a point. It's like, there's no way that y'all could claim that y'all know so much. And for, like, literally, like, for y'all to say that y'all know so much, y'all really display that you know so little. Because it's like there's no way that y'all don't understand how businesses work. Like, yes, there are always going to be highs, there are always going to be lows. Like, that's just how this works. Like, you don't think that Marvel doesn't suffer highs and lows? Like, now, granted, don't get in DC, yes, they all do. Now, granted, I will say Hasbro has been fucking up. Now, this I will say, and I see that a lot of people are really getting into fifis because they notice that some people are getting fired, some people are getting let go. Because as a matter of fact, the girl Sam, she was in one of the Hasbro lives, who she did an interview with Arwindale, and Becca Barnes, and Simon Bennett. She got let go from Hasbro. Unfortunately, they're doing like a lot of cuts from a lot of people. A lot of people are getting cut, and also the gag is Hasbro is just flailing at the limbs when it comes to Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. Like they completely fucked those two brands up to hell. Like they completely screwed those two brands. Um, so Hasbro is doing a lot of they're just doing the most right now, and they don't know. It almost kind of seems like they don't know what they're doing in terms of how to run these brands. And basically, they're almost running them into the ground, especially Dungeons and Dragons. Because I don't know if y'all heard about Dungeons and Dragons, but basically, they charge fans for like a box set, like for Dungeons and Dragons. They charge them like thousands of dollars or something like that, like almost like $1,000 for like a for like a for like a for like a box set or something like that. Which is wild because it's not even worth all of that.
For the game?
I'm not sure what it was. I have to do more research, but because I mean I'm not a Dungeons and Dragons person, so like I don't really know too much. But they basically upcharge them on something with Dungeons and Dragons that isn't even worth that much, but they charge them almost like $1,000 for it. So it's like
crazy.
Yeah, like they are really tripping balls right now. So my thing is, it's like, yeah, is Hasbro wilding right now? Absolutely. But don't think that, oh, just because all of this stuff is happening, somehow it's going to trickle down to us and now Power Rangers is going to go. No, like we are way far from that right now. Like they still have things that they're trying to plan out. They still have things they're trying to do. So the idea of, oh, the brand is failing and we're going to lose and it's going to disappear and now someone else is going to have to buy it, that's not here, like at all. Like that is not in our future right now. So chill out for all you negative naysayers in the back who want Power Rangers to die so badly. Because y'all literally, you say it almost every freaking day. Chill out. Like Power Rangers ain't going nowhere. I know you heard, but Power Rangers ain't going nowhere. So yeah, that was the earnings call. Um and they brought up, like I said, they brought up the script, the TV show, and also the new TV show, and also the possibly, I think the movie is also attached, but I'm not exactly sure. But they did bring up the new show and basically saying that it's going to be for a more young adult audience. Now I mentioned before with Cosmic Fury and how during the interview they said that the Rangers, not everything is going to be all fairy tales and the Rangers win every time and stuff like that. Like there will be some things that may happen. And we talked about maybe perhaps Hobby might lose his arm, or something might happen to his arm. There's been, of course, we noticed the whole arm thing based off of behind the scenes photos that popped up. Well, more photos surfaced. So today we are recording on February the 19th. Tomorrow is Tessa Rao's birthday, February 20th. Now, obviously, everybody is saying happy birthday, Tessa, because in New Zealand it is the 20th, not the 19th. So, in honor of her birthday, Russell Curry, Chance Perez, and Jordan Fight all posted on their Instagrams little behind the scenes little photos, being like, happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? They doing all the things. And some interesting popped up. Some interesting little ditties popped up. So what did we see? Y'all, like, what were some of the things that popped up? What were some of the things that popped up that y'all saw? Anybody?
Wow. Wow. I saw a better look at the suits.
Mm-hmm.
I was I'm like, oh, okay. Like those are pretty.
Okay, so please tell the people what you mean by that, because like there's a cute story that is attached to what Lena is saying. Please share.
Okay. So I haven't revealed it yet because it's not completely finished, but I'm getting all my pets tattooed on as little Power Rangers. And I recently got a kitten, and she's this little orange kitten, and I was like, man, I don't know what ranger she's gonna be. Because with my other pets, I knew right off the bat who was gonna be who, just based on the personality, right? And the colors that I've always dressed them in. But this little one, I was like, I have no idea. I don't know. And then right when I was debating on it, Hunter, wow, Hunter Dino. How did I even
Hunto Dino.
How did I
That is her new name. That is her new name now. Hunto Dino.
Wow. So when Hunter Dino was announced as the new Red Cosmic Fury Ranger, I was like, oh my God. Being a female, my little one is a female, being the first ever series female ever. This is incredible, So I'm like, done. She's now going to be the new Red Cosmic Fury Ranger. And I had a commission so that way the tattoo artist can see exactly how I want her to be. And the only photo reference that I had at that time was the cartoon one. Not the cartoon. What is it called? Like the animated version, right? And it's just her like leaning towards the side. So I didn't realize that there was a silver on the right side of the uniform. So, however, I didn't get the artist to actually add that in. So I'm like, oh, of course, now that it's done, I see the release of it. I'm like, I guess, but it's okay because when I officially get it tattooed on, I will get the artist to add it on. But in the commission work as a reference, it won't be there. So if you see it on my page, just know that I am aware of the mistake. That would not be tattooed onto my actual arm. And of course, for all of you wondering, once I get my touch up and once I get her tattooed on, I will do a full reveal of what my half sleeve looks like. And I'm so excited for it because yeah, I'm just excited. Like it looks so good already and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. But that's kind of why that was my first reaction was like, wait, there's a silver triangle thing on the right side of the suit. What was that always there? Like I'm so confused.
And we're all like, it was so funny because like all of us were like, yes, Lena. Like it's always been there. This has always been there, sweetheart. But no, like, so yes. The
thank God it wasn't already tattooed on. Oh
no, seriously, because you'd be back in the chair, sis.
yeah.
Like, let's get this thing fixed. But yeah, so Lena realized that the suits have an extra silver triangle on the side. Will, what did you notice?
I noticed the weapons, the American made weapons. That was pretty cool.
Now, first of
um,
all,
mhm.
yeah, yes, let's talk about the weapons though. Like, aren't those weapons spiffy as shit? Like,
They are
I'm not gonna
beautiful.
hold you. They are dope, right?
They are so beautiful. Like,
Mhm.
I'm so excited for it. Like, I'm not a big weapon fan, but like, man, these ones are beautiful.
Beautiful. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, Will, I'm actually glad you brought that up because I'm looking at the Gold Rangers, big ass like hand cannon that is in the shape of a mosasaurus. Like, I'm like, yo, like that's fire. Like, these weapons are hot. Like, listen, I know people have been shitting on Cosmic Fury, but listen, I'm sorry. Like, the designs, yeah, the suits might be lacking a little bit, but god damn, these designs are dope. Like, these weapons are amazing. Amazing. But go ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. And then what else? What else? What else? Okay, yeah. So there's a picture of a table read, and in the table read, every ranger has um I guess some sort of
It's like
a
like a
thermal, yeah.
thermal, yeah,
A
thermal
ranger
cup.
a ranger colored thermal in front of them. Fern is at this table read and she has an orange cup in front of her. Which we saw something else.
Is that orange?
Okay.
I swear that's just like a deep or yellow.
I mean, that's kind of what orange
mm,
is, kind of like a reddish yellow.
mm.
Like
Okay.
And
it does look a lot different based off this photo. Like the color is a lot different than Jordan's. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
a darker color
Okay,
than
I see
Jordan's for
it. Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I see it now.
yeah, and there was I forgot who posted it, but it basically people are saying that there's going to be a seventh ranger based on another I think it might have been a Russell post, and in the background they were able to make out seven different rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it looks like there's maybe an orange ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's crazy. I just saw on the Ranger Danger podcast Twitter, they said that somebody needs to start taking these rangers phones because they are
Yes.
just revealing a lot of stuff. They have been over the
Revealing.
last like a year or two.
Yes. Like y'all are spoiling the show for us. Like I just want y'all to know. Y'all are spoiling the show for us because nobody would have ever guessed that Fern was hiding in plain sight the entire time. Like we just thought that she was just going to be an extra. Well, me personally, I just thought she was just going to be an extra character in the show. Like she was going to play much of like a more of a presence in the show. So she had a bigger role, but not
Yeah,
like she was going to be a ranger.
and it makes more sense now because why would the girlfriend be around when they're going to be in space most of the time, allegedly?
Right, right.
Makes more sense.
It makes more sense, you know? So, I mean, now let's just talk about this for a second because, like, also, too, um, in the photo, well, it's actually a video, but someone just took a freeze frame of the photo. Excuse me, a freeze frame of the video. But there's a video of Jordan and Tessa in their Cosmic Fury costumes, and there are weapons on the table in the background. And on that table, there are a pair of orange claws, an orange claw weapon. And that's how everybody knew that, okay, there's definitely a an orange ranger for sure. Like there is definitely an orange ranger, and her weapons are obviously going to be claws. So it could stand to reason that Fern might actually be the Orange Ranger. Now, if this is the case, if this is true, that would mean a couple things. That would mean the team consists of 7 Rangers. Also, this will be the first time where there is 3 girls on one team. That is freaking crazy because when you think about it, every time we've had a large amount of Rangers, it's always been a sausage fest. Like it's always been like a crap ton of men and maybe only one girl, or like max two
Right.
girls. But we've never had 3 girls on one team. So let's be very clear. This is a huge win. Number one, like this is freaking amazing. Number 2, we never had an official, because like everybody keeps pointing at Boom. About Boom being the first Orange Ranger. Technically, this was a dream of his. It was not real. It was a dream. Number 1, and number 2, like when he did come out in his orange costume, it was some kind of made up crap that he made up. So let's be very clear. He was not really an Orange Ranger. Some people like to try to make Cat the Orange Ranger because her costume was orange and white. No, she's Cat Ranger. She's not orange. So
Dom. Some people
Dom
try
was
to say
white.
Dom.
Some people try to say Dom, but his costume was primarily white. So nah. So technically, we will have our first Orange Ranger ever in history. And she's played by an Asian girl. Come on. Come on.
I'm just saying, like this season, like this cast, this new like adventure of ours, it's a whole new ball game, and I'm loving it.
Loving it. And not to mention, it's gonna be a whole gay love story, space exploration. Come on. Come on.
You know what?
Y'all ain't listening. Y'all ain't fucking with it. Y'all ain't fucking
Would be
with it.
super cute if they're in space and like, for whatever reason, like when they introduce Fern, as a ranger, she shows up and she's like, she makes some cute ass comment about saving her girlfriend's ass again or whatever. That would be so cute.
I can't wait. Like I'm telling you, like I cannot wait for this. When I tell you, I am so freaking excited about this. Like this is the type of like love story I have been waiting for. Like this is the type of queer love story I am just like, I am ready. Like my body is ready. I am ready for this. Like y'all, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And also too, I also want the people in the back to know there's a strategic reason as to why these colors are being mentioned. There's a very strategic reason. So for the people in the back that don't really know about Q Ranger obviously has 11 Rangers, obviously. But not all 11 Rangers are mentioned. So yes, they do all appear at one point, but the gag is only a few of them are actually Rangers on screen for the most part. So the main consistent ones are red, orange, blue, black, gold, and green. And sometimes yellow. They're the only consistent ones. The rest of them, like Fugoma Sky Blue, Ho-Oh Soldier, Ryu Commander. I know all these things aren't making any sense, so I'll just say their color. Baby Blue, the other Red Ranger, the purple one, the pink one. Those Rangers are not ever really featured all that much. Hell, even sometimes gold and silver, they're not even featured all that much. So when you actually think about it, like the colors that were always mentioned are the Ranger colors that are being used. So that's probably one of the reasons why Hunter became pink, became red instead of staying pink. Because her Ranger color is not used that often in the show. So what footage would they use? Like what Zord battle footage would they use? Because she's only like her Zord is mainly only used like maybe twice out of the entire series. It's probably only used like two or three times. So it's like it would make more sense to take pink out and swap her with another color. Orange is actually one of the most used colors in Q Ranger because Sasori Orange is a very important character for an arc in Q Ranger. So it makes sense to have an Orange Ranger on the team. So making Fern the Orange Ranger is actually one of the smartest things they could do. So that's one thing. Also, one of the things that I got to thinking about is what if they actually obviously made Jordan the Gold Ranger, obviously, but give him the Yellow Rangers, the Yellow Rangers powers or the Yellow Rangers weapon, because yellow and gold could arguably be interchangeable because they're very close in color. So what if instead of giving him the Gold Rangers powers, which is Tim and Gold, which is kind of like I think it's like um it's like a robot kind of Zord or whatever. Um instead of giving him that, give him the yellow one because the Gold Ranger really wasn't there all that much, not as much as yellow was. So, that would be interesting. Now, my other thought process was there's still other Q-Tamas that were still existing, right? I have a very easy solution for that. Zato became our quote unquote Zenith Ranger. The definition of Zenith, I'm pretty sure everybody is probably asking if you did not know. Definition of Zenith is basically like if you want to use like there's two different descriptions. So one is something at the time at which something is the most powerful or successful, or the other one is the point in the sky or celestial sphere directly above an observer. So it could easily be determined that maybe he might be some sort of observer, kind of like a guardian or like someone extremely powerful, right? Which could also stand to reason why he does not have a weapon. In the digital rendering that we all see of all six Rangers, all six Cosmic Fury Rangers, you notice that everybody has a weapon but him. So I'm thinking more than likely his hands are his weapon. He said, catch these hands so you can catch his fade, ho. But he noticed he doesn't have a weapon. Now, also, like he might be like their Zordon, their mentor or whatever have you. So he may also have access to the other Q-Tama. So he might be sending out the other Zords that don't have Rangers for them, i.e., purple, sky blue, yellow, etc. So that also allows them to use the footage, but don't have a Ranger to correspond with it. Because he's this all-powerful person that can just send the extra Zords out as auxiliary Zords. Just a thought. Just a thought. But I'm thinking that that's probably the way that they're going to go about this because it just doesn't make sense to me that he's supposed to be this all powerful ranger. I mean, obviously we don't know the storyline of the way it's going to be used, but it would make sense to me that he would probably be able to control or probably have access to the rest of these Zords, while meanwhile the Rangers only have specific Zords that they are corresponding to. But that's just how I'm thinking about it. So I'm
That's
super excited.
interesting. That's interesting. I wonder. I think I might have theorized this before. Because he looks so different than the other ones. Well, at least with the cape, and he doesn't have weapon. I wonder if we'll see less of him, and then Amelia being the red. I would assume she would be the new leader. So I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if he'll take more of, like you said, more of a mentor role this time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I said, like I used before, the term I used before, I'm thinking he's gonna be like the Raiden of the team. Where like he participates sometimes, but for the most part, he's like the guardian. Like he's like that person in the back being like kind of like the steward. Whereas like Amelia would be more of like the Liu Kang. She's the team leader, but she also listens to Zato, or i.e. Liu Kang listening to Raiden as a mentor, as someone to guide them. So I'm thinking that that's kind of probably what we're going to get with them. Um, just judging by what we know so far. Because like I said, I don't necessarily believe that. I think that Zato is probably just going to be this really powerful warrior now that he's become Zenith Ranger. And also, too, he has to be because this mug has no weapons. Like the only weapons he has is his fist. So it's like he's probably gonna be like powerful as shit. So that's mainly what I'm thinking. With the new Cosmic Fury team, like that's really what I think it is. So, like I said, I'm super excited. Like I know people are sitting here like, not here for it. Blah blah blah. Like, listen, like listen baby, like I am so excited. And I was also looking at the costumes, and is it or are the shields on the vest giving giving the Green Ranger's dragon shield? Are y'all getting that vibe? Because I'm getting it. What y'all think? Am I alone in this?
I'm like, I don't know yet.
I
Like,
can see
I
it.
don't know. Right? Like, I can kind of see, like, they're giving me Green Ranger, like the Dragon Shield. Like, that's what they're giving. They're serving me Dragon Shield. And I'm like, there's a lot of Mighty Morphin, like, parallels that are happening here. There's a lot of Mighty Morphin parallels. Um, so I don't know, like, I'm actually kind of here for it. Like, I'm low key, kind of high key here for this. Um, and also too for the people in the back. So their torsos are foam, like it's like a foam padding or something. Because I don't know whether anybody have seen Jordan fights, his stories, but if you watch his stories, you can kind of tell because like he's walking past the camera, and you literally can see like the chest almost kind of being almost like a different material than the rest of the suit. So this is very interesting how what they're trying to do with the suits, like how they're trying to go about it. It's very interesting. So yeah, I'm actually kind of here for this. Like, yeah, I'm down for this. I'm really excited for Cosmic Fury. I don't know. Like, I think it's gonna be something. But let's move right along
I mean,
to yeah.
I
Go
mean,
for it.
I'm with you. Overall, I'm very excited. I'm ready for Cosmic Fury.
No, for real. Like, oh my gosh, like, are you like
I mean, like again, like it goes back to like it sucks that so many things got revealed, but like at the same time, I'm
yes.
like, you know what? I'm at the point where just give us the stuff already.
Yes, 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 yes. Just go ahead and give it to us because at this point, it's like y'all gonna keep on. Like for what? Like everybody's birthday, anybody's birthday who come up, we're just gonna keep getting behind the
Watch,
scenes photos. Like,
we're gonna get. You know what? What I would appreciate, and I think it's gonna happen. I think Oh my god! I just realized something. What if these behind the scenes are like they're like they're not even what we think it is. I'm not
what
sure.
do you
Like,
mean?
obviously, okay, I'm just throwing a random theory out there. Like, obviously, these are real photos that they've taken and they don't realize it and they're posting all these. But what if they're meant to do that? Like, they were been told to sort of like put it out there and let the internet be internet detectives or whatever.
Oh, I see what you mean. So basically, what you're saying is like, what if they're shamelessly promoting their own show?
Exactly. And they're meant to do that, And then now, obviously, like it's doing exactly what, again, free marketing is doing exactly what we're doing right now. We're talking about it. We're making speculation about it. We're making the hype on it. We're just, trending this on whatever platform we got going on. And so in a way, it's low key doing the promotion without doing the promotion, without having Hasbro like put a big production out there. Is already inserted and let the fandom figure it out, kind of thing. And what I would love even more is when we get these reveals is nowhere close to our theories. Like absolutely nowhere close to the theory that we thought the storyline was going to be. That like none of this was exactly what we thought it was. It was like they did it on purpose and they threw us in a frenzy and we're getting something that's even bigger and better and now we're just our socks are being blown off. Like that's what I'm really hoping for too.
Girl, you are reading my mind 100%. Like that is honestly where I am. I was literally thinking this earlier while I was compositing the show notes and everything
Yeah.
for tonight's episode, and I'm like, what if when this show premieres and everybody who talked so much shit about this show like literally are sitting in their houses in front of their TV screens watching Netflix and literally they see it and they're like, what is happening? Like they are completely blown away. Like, what are the reactions going to be on that day? Like, I can only imagine what is going to happen. And some of the naysayers who've been hard down talking about, oh, this show is going to be awful. It's going to be terrible. Now they have to eat crow. I'm wondering what would be their reactions. Like, what are going to be the things that they're going to say?
Oh.
Like, are they going to get on Al Gore's internet and start saying like, well, I always knew the show was going to be great, or I always knew that, or like, or would they,
right?
Is
Is either they're gonna say great things and be like, "Oh, I always knew," or they're gonna be like, "Well, it's still trash because of X, Y, and Z." Like these people will never be freaking happy. Will never be happy with what is given to them. Because you know why? Somehow they're better writers than the writers themselves. I'm just saying, like, I'm so done with these folks. Like, just so done. There's a
what were you
reason
going to say,
why.
Will?
Mhm.
What were you going to say?
I'm just these people on my nerves. Just complain about everything, and then when things go in a different way, like they'll pretend that they always were, cool with it, or they won't admit to being, or they'll just continue to shit on it. So
Yeah. I mean, like, but like that's the thing. Like, I've always noticed that, especially when Dino Fury was airing, like a lot of people, like before the show aired, I mean, they would pick and prod and just, I know that's not a word, but they would pick the show apart, like just from things that like they just that hadn't the show hadn't even aired yet. They just saw like little clips and they're already picking it apart. Like, oh, this is gonna be terrible. This is gonna be and then now when the show comes out, the attitudes completely change. Like it's like, oh man, like remember, for example, like, and I promise we're gonna go into the episode, but remember when the morphs were like kind of like leaked? Like not really leaked, but like we saw like screen caps of the morph, and people were just like, "Ah, oh, that morph is gonna be shitty. Do you see that? Like, ah, oh, that looks so stupid."
Mm-hmm.
And literally, when we actually saw the official morph for the first time, people were like, "Yo, that shit is fire!" Like, and then the people who, and I remember one person specifically who literally sat there and was like, you know what? Like, I was wrong. Like, the morph was actually really cool. Like, yeah. And it's like, it just goes back to you don't know what's going to happen. Like, all you got are set photos. Like, you don't know. Like, you don't know anything. So to sit here and just constantly just make up things or just be so negative all the time is so weird because it's like you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. And it's okay to not know. It's okay to be scared. Or it's okay to wait in anticipation. I could not get that word out. But it is okay to wait in anticipation. But to just be so negative about something that hadn't even came out yet is just that's wild. Like that is absolutely wild. So I don't know. Like I'm just so excited for the things that are to come with Cosmic Fury. Well, hell, for both Once and Always and Cosmic Fury. Because something tells me that both of those two shows are going to tie in somehow with each other. Like they're going to tie in. So I can feel it. Something. My gut is telling me like somehow those two shows are going to tie in with each other. Maybe not like be a sequel to one another, but like something is going to tie in with those shows. I just feel it. I don't know what it is, but something's telling me that it is. But yeah, like, oh man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But speaking of Dino Fury and cool morphs, let's go ahead and get into episodes 18 and 19 of Dino Fury. So for episode 18, we have Guilt Trip. The Void King and Queen attempt to put their nefarious plans for Pine Ridge into action by distracting the Rangers with a diversion in Japan. Y'all, what y'all thought about this episode? What is it giving?
It was okay.
Oh, okay.
I have to say, I was kind of on your guys' team of not liking Allie. And it's one, he was awful to his mother.
So that's what it took. Him being awful to Miss Fine Ass Dr. Akana that made you all of a sudden go, oh, I don't like him now. Is that what it was? Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, at least you admit it. At least you admit it.
Oh my god. I cannot. That's all it took. Oh my god.
That's all it took. It
That's
was
all
like
it took.
bump him being mean to Amelia for two seasons. Screw that.
But the
He is
moment
mean to his fine ass mama. Now it's like, nah.
like, yeah, no, I personally I thought that whole episode, because it's an Ollie focused episode, I didn't really enjoy it as much. And it again it's one of those episodes where it's like it's just so, it's almost like cringy how he replaced Amelia, like he replaced Amelia with his mom. Wait, is that even proper? Like
The other way.
Okay, it's the other way. He replaced his mom with Amelia. There we go.
Yeah. Well, and I think I've been guilty of when I have a new person in my life, like um giving them all the focus and taking the focus from somebody else, whether it's another friend or a family member. Like I think that is something that happens sometimes. um but I mean, I like the fact that obviously they work through it by the end of the episode. But it is something that does happen, and it's a sucky thing.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I was just
No.
gonna say, like, if I can kind of see where you're coming from, Will. I can kind of see it. However, my thing is like he lied about it to his mom and to Amelia. Like it was the lying on top of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, I'll admit in my one of my first relationships, I was the same way where I would put a lot of focus on them too, and sort of like not give the same focus to my other friends. But I get where you're coming from. I have learned since, and I've always balanced my relationship ever since then, right? So I can understand and relate to that because I'm guilty of that myself. But it was the lying for me that ultimately, like, first it was relatable, then it became lying. I was like, okay, I don't think I've ever done that, so not cool.
And he was being straight up mean to his mom too.
Mean. Like, that's what was getting me. It wasn't just the lying, it was just him just being mean. Like there was a point where literally, like, when he snapped on her for just her calling him out and being like, yo, your work was terrible. Like it wasn't good. And him snapping on her, and he immediately, like, if you notice, like, and this is how you know he was wrong. Like he immediately went to, well, if you don't like it, we don't gotta work together. Bitch. Like, first of all, like, you are the one who is in the wrong. Like, you are the one that is in the wrong. It's not your mom. Your mom is over here like, she's calling you out because you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. And he immediately took offense to her, to being corrected. And yes, we've all experienced that. I've experienced it. I'm pretty sure you all experienced it. But what made me so angry with Ali in this episode is it's a recurring thing with him. It's a recurring thing that he is, and I guess in a way, I have to give Cosmic Fury credit. I have to give them credit because they are making him into a human being that is still learning from his mistakes. Like he is so used to being a tool, like he is so used to being a bad person that he can't undo his mistakes, because we know that Ali has an issue with being right. Like he is the type of person who, I have to be right in everything that I do. So for someone to correct him, especially someone that he respects, for them to correct him, it hits hard. It hits him very hard. And honestly, like, that is a character flaw of his, and he still is working on it. So that I will give Cosmic Fury some credit for. I will give them credit for that.
And also, what I thought was interesting too, going back to how his mom calling, she was really nice about it. She wasn't
She was
like
very nice.
she wasn't coming at him hard. She was like, you know what? She was kind of like giving him an opportunity to be like, well, why don't you just take it over? We all make mistakes. Things do happen. And he was like, nah. I'm like, okay, buddy. Like, it wasn't that,
Right,
she wasn't even that upset about it. Okay, relax.
right, right. But his pride got hit. His pride got hit because he took it immediately as, you're talking about my work. You're talking about my work ethic now. And you know how prideful he is about his work ethic. But it's like, no, babe, your work ethic it is terrible. You did do bad work. And the fact that now not only did you do bad work and you're being called out for your bad work, but now you are also realizing and finding out that your mom is taking the hit for your bad work. Like she didn't even blame you for it. She just said, you know what? Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry. When in actuality, it was your fault. So now you got these people looking at your mom like she's not doing her job. When in actuality, it's you. You are the one who is making your mom look bad. And that is what I think is what really made him be like, oh, snap. Yeah, I fucked up. Because now I'm making my mom look bad.
What the work that he was doing for her was he helping her, or were they actually both on like the project?
It seems
So,
like okay, yeah, go on.
oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say for me, I took it as he was just helping her.
Yes.
Oh.
He was helping her. So he technically was not on the project, even though they are very familiar with him.
Yes.
But he wasn't on the project. She was just giving him work to do.
Exactly. And because like they always because remember before Amelia came along, he had no friends, he had no hobbies. So his hobby was his mom, right? And so
Right.
she was just like, oh, like she thought it was something that they would do together as they always did, right? But
Mhm.
which
Mm-hmm.
is why she kind of took the fall for him too, because in a way it was her responsibility to have it done, but
Yeah.
she trusts him at the wrong time.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not
And
the
instead of
outcome.
him just,
No.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say like because like obviously she was always able to rely on him and trust him, but this time around it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah. And I mean, because she like he never had that happen before. So when he started like dodging her and not answering the phone and stuff like that, and also giving her sloppy work, like, it's like now she got questions like what's going on? Because he never did that before. So yeah, like I mean, even like really in actuality, like obviously she couldn't throw him under the bus because he's not on the project. So she had to take the fall for it.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's fucked up. And I'm like, but the thing is, here's the problem that I have with this show. Here is one of the problems that I have and what I wish Power Rangers would stop doing. When it comes to Ollie specifically, please just have this boy say the thing. Actually say, I apologize for being a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am so tired of them making him say these weird reasons for what he's apologizing for. No, you're not apologizing for the right thing. What you really should be apologizing for is just being a bad person. Like the reason why they had him apologize in this episode was I felt personally not exactly what the issue was. Like he didn't really necessarily apologize to me. He didn't necessarily apologize for like the real reason as to why this episode was why it was happening in the first place. And power and like for some odd reason when it comes to Ollie in these episodes, like he never really actually apologizes for the thing. For example, the episode where he almost got Javi fired. He didn't necessarily apologize for that. His thing was, oh, I was so distracted, and I'm really sorry. That's how he apologized. But in actuality, what you should be apologizing for is my bad behavior almost made you lose your job. That is what you should be apologizing for. It's not just oh, like me not paying attention and me not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, no, like that's not what you should be apologizing for. So I just feel like every time they write these come to Jesus moments where they're like, oh my goodness, like I'm apologizing for whatever, they always miss the mark with Ollie. I don't know what it is, but they always miss the mark with him. Anybody else, they get it down right to the T. Like they nail it perfectly. But with Ollie, for some odd reason, they always miss it. They always miss the mark with him. And I'm not sure of why they do that. But that was like my main issue with this episode.
I think it's possible they don't know how to write it. Or maybe, oh God, I don't want to
say it.
like it's the writer's fault, because we know that there's just some weirdness when it comes to the higher ups and the mandates and stuff that they throw down. But I that is weird, and it's not a good message to send when we've seen so many examples of this character just being a jerk to people. He obviously
Yes.
has some issues within himself for why he's like that, but to not confront what they are and to essentially he'll make up, like you said, he'll make up like an excuse for why he did what he did, but not really I guess, what am I trying to say, not really like come to terms or realize or come to a realization of like, why do I keep doing this? And then he just ends up doing something similar later down the line.
Yeah, like
But,
he does. They don't have him articulate exactly what he's apologizing for.
mm-hmm.
Like for some odd reason, they just don't make him articulate it right, and it's just like, no, like have him say the thing. Like this is what I'm apologizing for. Now, like I said, I will say, like I said, I always give credit where credit is due. I will give them credit for having him be consistent because baby, like he's an asshole through and through, and like they are consistently bent on making this boy an asshole. But like it's just damn, like if he's gonna apologize, make him apologize for it. But don't have him beat around the bush about it. Like have him say the thing. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a terrible fucking person. Sorry. and just like end it there. Like I'd rather hear that than this roundabout reason as to why he's apologizing. Like it's too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anything else that y'all noticed in this episode that y'all like, disliked?
Oh, Amelia and Ollie are sleeping together.
First of all, that what a way to open the episode. Like, baby. So we already know they fucking. I'm like, y'all ain't waste no time.
I mean,
I was like, oh.
when you, I'm just actually shocked that they even did that for
Right?
Power Rangers episode.
Girl, when I tell you, I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, I'm clutching pearls right now. Like, wait a minute, not Power Rangers.
Oh. Hey, you know what? One thing we can say for sure, they got more action than any of the previous Rangers ever did.
Oh, girl, oh well,
I mean,
no.
the Space Ranger. Who knows what was going on the mega ship?
Okay, hello.
I mean, I'm very well aware, but because they never insinuated, we're gonna assume that nothing happened. Assume.
I mean, the way that Ashley was all up on Andros all the time.
She was throwing it at Andros, honey. She
but
was
you know
throwing
what?
it
Given
at him.
the way Andros was, he probably didn't even know what that was even all about. I bet his boy's still a virgin.
This is true. But no.
Still a virgin.
Well,
he's probably like,
well.
You know what? He probably way too focused to find his sisters to actually get it up. Okay, I'm just saying.
Oh.
Just saying. The way he's obsessed. And you know what? Like, it makes a lot of sense too, obviously. But also, like, the way he's so, like, the way they portray him to be so upset whenever his sister's mentioned. He's always like, wait, where do you find her? Where? How? Like, the little details, you know? So I'm just saying, like, do you really think he can focus when at any given moment his sister could be found?
Listen,
Just
first of
throwing it out.
all,
Just throwing it out there.
I'm not gonna hold you. I
But
am not gonna hold you,
if it was Zayn,
but
if it was Zayn, I'm just saying. On the other hand, I could see things happening. You know,
well, listen, I will say this. I will say this. I hear that, and I partly agree. However, comma, that episode where Zayn comes back and he starts flirting with Ashley, and Andros was not having it. Okay. Andros was a little piece of jealous, honey. Listen, I think they was probably already getting it in then, if you ask me. Cause baby, Andros was ready to kick Zayn's ass. Like
Yeah,
he
I
was
think
ready to
Ashley
mop
and
the
Andrew.
floor with him.
I think they got together like rather quickly.
Well, I mean, they be in space. So I mean, you know, they spend a lot of time together, if you know what I mean. So listen,
I mean,
like they know each
also
other very well.
well, also apparently they're not spending that much time together because they've been going on Earth a lot too.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's the confusion for me. Are we in space? Are we on Earth? Like, what's happening?
They had to finish high school first.
Did they know?
I'm assuming that they did, just because I can't see Power Rangers having high school dropouts, especially when we've been on that journey. Like, even though they weren't the original crew, they were their replacements and they were a year younger. So I would just think that they would have somehow graduated in between searching the galaxy for Zordon.
Child, no. That them children, did not one time did they show them children graduating. Like, I don't think they ever finished school, to be honest with you. Like, I genuinely don't. I don't think they finished. Like, them mugs probably after they came back from fighting and saving the universe, they probably got honorary degrees, honey. Like, they probably got honorary certificates being like, you know what, y'all was fighting crime and saving the universe. Child, here your high school diplomas. Y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. They probably just gave them things to them. Because, like, honestly, like we did not see them graduate. Like, we saw them attending class, but child, we ain't never seen them graduate. So honestly, I'm just gonna say they did. Me personally, I don't think they did. I'm just saying. Because when you think about it, if you look at the Space Rangers after the fact, even when they came back to the show, like they were still Rangers. Like they were still Space Rangers. Still wearing their uniforms, still wearing the flight uniforms. Like them mugs still in space. Them mugs they ain't worrying about no high school education. Like, child, no. Even in Megaforce, when TJ and Cassie saved them people, they still in like uniforms. They still Rangers. Like, they ain't got no real jobs. Some people, no, child, no. No, they ain't graduated. And it's okay. It's okay. Power Rangers is promoting high school dropouts. It's okay. It's wonderful. We love it. I'm here for it. Shit. Like, that's real. So it is what it is for me. Um, but one thing I did find interesting about this episode is, and this kind of hit home for me. Dr. Akana is in Osaka, Japan. I actually lived in Osaka for 6 months. So that really hit home for me. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is exciting. Like, I can't believe this. So I was actually pretty gassed. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. But yeah, other than that, like this episode was pretty like, okay. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like, middle tier. Middle tier for me.
It's ramen time.
Child. It's ramen time. Like, oh my gosh, I love
Uh,
Zato. I love Zato. I love him. But yes,
I mean, to be fair, ramen is delicious. So ramen time is always for me.
yes, yes. Now I am a little upset that no one mentioned okonomiyaki, but that's just me. That is like my favorite. But they did mention other good things that Japan has, other good foods. So I'm like, okay, fine, fine. I mean, we are in Osaka, and okonomiyaki is like you can find like okonomiyaki shops all over Osaka. So I just would assume that they would have mentioned it, but whatever. It's
what
just a
is
TV
that?
show. So okonomiyaki is it's kind of like a pancake, like a Japanese pancake, and basically you can get like Japanese cabbage on it, and you can also get like different types of meat, whether it'll be like um it'll be pork or beef or whatever. It could be pork, beef, seafood, any type of toppings. Um, and basically, what they do is they basically mix it all up and then they flip it like a pancake and then top it off with Japanese mayonnaise and pickled ginger. It's so good.
It
Like it
is
is.
divine.
Oh,
I've
oh,
never had it, but it sounds a lot like some of the dishes that we make in the Chinese slash Vietnamese culture, and that sounds divine.
Oh my gosh, girl. Like I promise you, it is wow, it is so good. And when I was living there, there was a like right down the street from the house, the home visit family I was living with. Down the street from the house, there was a woman who literally was selling it out of her garage. She had like a little mini restaurant in her garage, and she was selling it there. So like when you go to her garage, she had like 4 tables set up where she would cook on the table right in front of you. She'd cook it. And oh God, I would go there almost every day. Like, oh, it almost brings tears to my eyes how good it was. Like when I tell you, like when you look at it, it's spelled Okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki. Just look it up. Like it looks every bit of good as you think it looks. Like it tastes every bit of good as it looks. Like it's just it's amazing. It is so good. But yes. But yeah, like they had shops all over Osaka. So I'm like, nobody mentioned okonomiyaki. Like, I'm hurt. Like, y'all mentioned mochi, like y'all mentioned like all these different dishes, ramen, like takoyaki. I'm like, okay, so anybody gonna mention okonomiyaki? No, nobody's gonna mention. All right, never mind. So I was a little hurt, but yeah. I know like we should probably move on because I'm getting hungry. All right. Next episode. Bad vibes. When Izzy and Javi are hit by blasts from a special weapon, they're brainwashed into helping the Void Queen with her plot to steal the Sporix. Thoughts. What did y'all think about this?
You know what?
Um,
Them being evil was awesome. Sorry, go ahead, Will.
wait, what did you say?
I said them being kind of like, is that the evil episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So them being evil was awesome. I loved it.
I'm
I
sorry, but like they were sexy
Right?
as
That's what
evil.
I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, like,
I
I
kind
was
of got
here
turned
for
on.
it. And they were so dramatic. I loved it.
don't
They
know.
were
I
sexy.
thought it was. I thought that part was cool.
Okay. Come on.
I'm trying to. I be having too many thoughts. and then they be interrupting my current one. Um, so the evil part was cool, and then the fact that like Void Queen's plan actually worked, that was pretty cool. But then the family part, I was like, did that really fit? Kind of weird. But I did like um Harvey and Izzy being brainwashed and them, Void Queen using them to like have a successful plot. I thought that was pretty cool. I really loved the ending.
You know, honestly, I kind of agree with that. I actually kind of agree with it. I will say them being the family plot, I feel like was the necessary plot for them to like end the brainwashing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it reminded them of like them being good, and it reminds them of like all their loving memories from their family. So that's why it broke.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but part of me does kind of wish that there was something a little bit stronger that kind of led them to have like I guess what I'm really saying is I wish that there was just a stronger family plot
Mm-hmm.
that made it a lot more worthwhile, that made it a lot more satisfying. I'm not sure what that plot would be, but
Maybe
yeah.
if they would have introduced something sooner, like if they had I don't know, if they talked about the family karaoke thing maybe a couple of episodes prior or at the very beginning of season two. Uh,
Yeah.
and then like maybe throw in another scene of, banter between the parents and the kids. And then like they could have, but still I think, yeah, maybe if they established it beforehand, it would have been more impactful. But just
Or
from the way that they did it, keep that in mind. The way that they did it, it just I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't it it was so weird when you had the plan of Void Queen wanting to apprehend that drill machine to get into the Dino Hinge base, and then how that episode ended, and then to have the family stuff. It just didn't. For me, it just didn't fit. It just felt weird.
I don't know
Like
if it for
I
me.
understand that it. I understand, like, they wanted to get access to Warden Garcia's drill machine, which is so weird that a park warden would have something like that at his disposal. And they needed to brainwash the Rangers to get that, and then of course to get the Rangers out of the brainwashing, they had to remember the good times with their family, which we saw a lot of their family stuff in this episode. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe that plot should have been in another episode, or they should have formatted it differently. Or maybe it could have been a two-parter.
I don't know if I don't know if that will. I don't know. Like we all know, obviously, like music is something that was like really important in the Garcia family. Um, because apparently the karaoke thing was something that they've always done. Apparently, as introduced in this episode, like that was like their thing. Um, I'm not sure if that was the way to go because for me it just didn't have the it didn't carry the weight that it should have carried for me.
Mhm.
Um Now if say for example, if it was a situation where like it involved Javi once again with his singing career or something like that, and this time he had the support of his family, and they found a way to introduce the drill. I think that would have probably carried more weight because now you're still progressing the storyline with Javi wanting to be an artist. Like now we're still progressing this storyline. Like I just feel like the the whole thing with like, oh, the family karaoke and stuff like that. Like to me, I don't know whether you all feel like this, but for me, it kind of came out left field because it's like, okay, if your whole family, if your family has this anniversary every year where you do a family karaoke every single year, why is it so unbelievable for their dad to not accept Hobby as a singer
I literally just was thinking that kind of retconned what was established.
Exactly. Like that just doesn't make sense. So for me, that whole thing just didn't gel for me. Now, like I said, if it was a situation where they were like, okay, well, Javi wants to go to like an American Idol or something like that, or like an America's Got Talent, or um some kind of competition that's gonna like make him be the next big star or something like that. And Park Warden is like, okay, but I also have to get this drill or something like that. Like if they would have found a way to tie that into the episode, I think that would have made a much bigger difference, and it would have been a lot more stakes. You would have felt it more. Like there would have been more there than what we got. Because for me, like all I was thinking about in this entire episode is why is Park Dad like so gassed up about singing karaoke when he hated the fact that his son was even an artist for like what, a season and a half? Like I'm confused. Like this doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, that was like one of the biggest things in this episode that really didn't sit well with me. But everything else, like I enjoyed the Rangers being evil. Like that was so sexy. Like them just like every time they look at each other and they kind of had those like evil eyes. Or like when they would talk to Void Queen and they were like, we're sorry we disappointed you. It's like, oh, I'm like, oh, yes, don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint me, Hobby. Don't disappoint me. Like, I'm just like, I'm just like, oh, child. Like, not y'all being sexy and evil. Like, I love it. Um, and also that scene where they attack the Rangers in the base, that shit was fire. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. The music in the background when the Rangers turned on them before fleeing the base, that shit was
Mhm.
fire. That whole scene was fire. Like I watched that scene like a good 2 or 3 times. Like I was like, yo, this shit is cool. Um, but yeah, like that would be my main complaint out of this episode. Anything else?
Um, I loved I loved the fight scene with the Rangers wreck mate and the henchman. That was a lot of fun. That was
Yeah,
the fight scene where Javi and Izzy got zapped. That was a lot of
right.
and the scenes in the base were cool. Where the one you just mentioned where Javi and Izzy they try to steal the sporks because like it was cool seeing the Rangers just confused. Like, what the hell is happening right now?
They
And
were
then,
gagged.
yeah, and then the end with because they got the drill. Um, like I said earlier, Boy Queen's plan actually worked. They got the drill. They were able to infiltrate the base and steal all of the sporks that the Rangers have collected over the last 2 seasons. So now they're at an extreme disadvantage.
Right.
And poor Soul just got just smacked around.
Now, I'm not going to hold you. I hollered laughing when he shot her and she went flying in the air. I'm not going to hold you. I laughed so hard. Like, I did not mean to laugh as hard as I did, but I hollered. Because it was the way she went flying in the air. I was like, yo!
Well, not even just that, but because she's so expressionless, it's her expression too.
Like, literally, like, it's just the face just being, like, still the same. And she's, like, flying. Yet she's like, oh! Everything about that scene was just so funny. I'm like, and then the lead up to it too. She's like playing freaking like what's she playing oh gosh, Scrabble or something, and then she gets shot. It's
Damn.
like, what is happening? Like, that whole scene was just, I'm like, I should not be laughing at this scene the way that I am. But like, this scene is hilarious. And then she's like crawling to like the panel and she's like struggling. I'm like, yo, like this is not funny. This is definitely like really fucked up, but this is hilarious. Like, loved it. Loved it. So honestly, y'all, like, as we've already talked about it, and we have some love-hate stuff for both these episodes. How are we rating these episodes? How are we rating this?
I'm gonna go 3.5 for the first one and a 4 for the second.
Oh shit! Okay.
I gave the first one a 2.
Damn.
And the second one, I guess I'll give it a 3.
3 3s across the board for me. Like both of them were middle of the road. Like honestly, like for me, I was just like, oh well, shit. I mean, the first one, like I would have given a 2, honestly, because it's an Ali episode. But like, I was so gassed by all the Japanese references, and then when like the little news thing came up and that lady was speaking straight Japanese, I was like, oh, yo, like I was just so gagged. I was like, I love it. Like they actually are in Japan in this episode, so I was loving every bit of it. So there were some positives for the first episode, but
Dr. Connor was in there. That was nice.
you and Dr. Akana, like you, sir,
A Ranger mom who was actually a good actor and cool. I love it.
but it's just not just that though, because you be gassed up about Dr. Akana. Like, all right, we know, Will. We know you like her. It's fine. It's fine. Like, we know. But nah, like it was a cool episode. Like it was a cool episode despite Ollie being a dick. It was still a cool episode. I was like, okay, like I'll give it a middle of the road. Like it was a 3. And for me, like I said, the second episode was definitely a 3 because I just had a major issue with like that stuff with the parents. But other than that, like it was still an okay episode because like as we know, it's gonna progress to like the final showdown. So great talk, everybody. Hopefully some more news come out. Hopefully some actors drop some more set pictures to give us more to talk about. Because like I'm thoroughly excited about Cosmic Fury, and I'm just ready to see what's gonna happen. Once again, thank you all for listening. Our link, once again, you know the vibes. Our links are linktr.ee/trapping on the grid. That's where all of our links are. Our SoundCloud, YouTube, Instagrams, everything is at that link. So please follow us, please continue to support, and we're out this bitch. Once again, my name is Brandon,
My name is Lena.
And my name is Wolf.
and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.